So it's a bit windy out here, but I wanted to shoot a video outside just because it's beautiful, and I hope you can hear me. My name is Julianne, also known as Roadrunner, and in 2022 I thru hiked the entire Appalachian Trail, and this year in 2024 I am planning to hike the Pacific Crest Trail. So today I actually want to just talk about some updated gear that I changed or added or removed while I did a recent shakedown hike on the Appalachian Trail in the Smoky Mountains. If you don't know what a shakedown hike is, it essentially is just another hike, another overnight trip where you get to check out the gear that you're planning to take on a long distance hike, and you see if the gear that you bought and purchased or that you think you're going to take with you, whether it'll work for you or not. And so it is a really great tool to use to be able to feel more comfortable in the gear that you have. It's literally raining right now while the sun is shining. So I guess there'll be a rainbow anytime now, anytime soon. Like my gear is getting wet. Like, I did make some clothing changes. I changed my yellow shorts to these cool flamingo shorts, mainly because it gets really dirty in the desert and I didn't want to really show the dirt. And then I also changed from leggings to some actual, I don't even know, normal pants, just because the leggings were heavier and also they started to really break down because I used them on my entire Appalachian Trail thru hike. So I'm loving those pants. The Pacific Crest Trail entails gear that I did not have to use for the Appalachian Trail. There will be some snow traversing, ice, and all of that. And so for the Pacific Crest Trail, it is recommended to carry something called micro spikes. These you put on the bottom of your shoes and they give you more traction when you're traversing on snow. And I didn't get to use these on our shakedown hike in the Smoky Mountains. However, we carried these with us, and we will be using these for the Sierra, but also there is a mountain, Mount Jacinto. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. People pronounce it differently. But Mount Jacinto is going to be the first area where we could potentially use microspikes. Now, this is about 150 to 170 miles into the thru hike, and the logistics on whether to mail this to us, when to forward it to us, has been really a nightmare. And so my hiking partner, Little Chap, his channel is Little Chap Hikes, check him out. We discussed on when we would mail this and all of this. It was just a pain. It was just a nightmare. Honestly, I feel like it was just too annoying. And we discussed that we would just carry these with us for the first 150 some miles and then have them ready when we are going to traverse Mount Jacinto. And we just didn't feel these even when carrying them through the Smoky Mountains. And so, yeah, we're gonna start with these and then mail them forward to Kennedy Meadows South. The other thing that I've been continuously contemplating on is which hat to take. And I love this hat. It's very light. It's just a comfortable hat. I used it for the entire Appalachian Trail. It's my baby, and I used this for the Tahoe Rim Trail thru hike that I recently did, and it was comfortable enough. And I just don't really love this hat, and I really love this hat. So on my shakedown hike on the Appalachian Trail recently in the Smoky Mountains, I got severely sunburned. Not severely, but I got pretty sunburned, and I was like, okay, I guess I'm gonna have to carry the bucket hat instead of my baseball hat. But you might be surprised, I am going to carry the ball cap. And the reason why is I checked out how to wear this a little bit differently, and I'm going to put a little clip in here where you can see if I put the ball cap on right, as well as put the hoodie over the ball cap, it's actually going to provide just enough or almost the same of sun protection as the bucket hat would do. I am just more comfortable with this hat, and I feel like it's going to provide me the sun protection that I do need in order not to get as sunburned as I did in the Smoky Mountains. In my last gear video, I actually didn't mention sunscreen, and I had a few subscribers say, Roadrunner, you need to bring sunscreen, and I knew that I would be bringing sunscreen, I just forgot. So here is the sunscreen that I'll be bringing. Personally, I'm not a real fan of sunscreen because it does have, most of sunscreens have chemicals in there that I just really don't want to put on my body. It's the same for Permethrin, which is an anti-tick repellent, or it's a tick repellent for clothing, and it's poison. Obviously it's going to kill ticks, and I don't really want to put that on my clothes or my body. And I try to prevent, you know, ticks and sunburn generally with my clothing, but I do think that I need something for my face. And so I will be bringing this Think Daily. It does have zinc oxide. I don't really know if this is necessarily the best ingredients, but it's about as healthy as you can get when it comes to sunscreen. If you followed my recent Shakedown hike in the Smoky Mountains, you know that I struggled with some cold feet for some random reason. Some people suggested some health concerns that I might be having. I just personally don't think that, because when I live in normal life and I sleep in my normal bed, I don't have cold feet, I don't have dry skin. I honestly think it is an environment change that's affecting me. So with that said, one of the things that I was going to carry, and I almost felt like there's absolutely no compromising on, was a liner. Now the liner here is 9 some ounces. It's pretty heavy, and I felt it was a real big benefit for me on the Appalachian Trail. But when I used this on my Shakedown hike, it really didn't do any difference. It didn't keep my feet any warmer, and honestly I feel like I'm, with all the upper layers that I was super hot, and it was just my feet that were really cold. So I'm going to replace my liner with my body wrapper ballet pants. I do wear those sometimes at night, and they really do create some extra heat, as well as I bought some Enlighten Equipment synthetic booties. So this should help me keep my feet warmer, and hopefully my body will get accustomed to the environment change and not affect my feet as much as they did in the Smoky Mountains. Another big difference for the Pacific Crest Trail versus the Appalachian Trail is water carry. On the Appalachian Trail, you have water almost everywhere, so having 2-liter water carrying capacity is pretty much all you need. Some people do carry another water bladder for themselves, just I don't know why, because you don't really need it, but some people think they need more than 2 liters at night. However, the Pacific Crest Trail has very, very long water carrying sections where you don't have any water for 10 to 20 miles at times. So I really needed to think, how much water do I want to carry with me? And I originally was like, I'll carry 4 liters. And then of course, discussing it with my hiking partner, we said maybe 6 liters water carrying capacity would be good, at least for the desert part. And originally I was going to bring 2 of these knock bladders, which each is 2 liters, and 2 1-liter smart water bottles. I just don't think it's very easy to carry water in these. When I did this on my Tahoe Rim Trail through hike, I felt it was a little bit annoying. It was shaky on the backpack. Strapping it down wasn't as comfortable. So I opted to still take one of these bladders, but replace one of my 1-liter water bottles with 2 1.5-liter water bottles. So this is 3. Then I have my normal water bottle, that's 4, plus the water bladder, which is 6. So that's what I'm gonna do. And then last but not least, so many people have suggested bringing this here umbrella right there. They suggested I need this for sun protection because the desert has almost no shade. And so it's been continuously suggested I bring this. However, I'm not going to bring this. Sorry to disappoint. What I'm actually going to do, or what my hiking partner and I are actually going to do, is we are going to use our Tyvek ground sheets as a roof. And here's a little clip of him explaining how it's actually going to look, because we discussed it on our Shakedown hike, and then he needed to try it out when he got home. So this is what we'll be doing.
All right, here's take 2, pitched a little differently. More of a slanted roof, cast in the shade. and it's actually been fairly breezy. You can see it's actually died down for a second, but it seems to be holding just fine. Like that. Looks like we may be in business.
So that's going to be our shade for any sort of afternoon breaks, as well as we have our hoodies, we have our hat, we have our sun protection. We think we're going to be fine without the umbrella, and we're happy with our decision. So hopefully I don't regret not bringing this, right? But I have it ready to be mailed just in case. So yeah, so that's it when it comes to changing my gear for the Pacific Crest Trail through hike. If you want to see the other gear, do check out my entire gear video and just keep the changes in mind. If you do want to follow me on my Pacific Crest Trail journey, kindly consider subscribing. It really does help me. It helps me with regard to the algorithm, and it helps me be able to partially fund my through hike. Now, whether you subscribe or not, these videos will still come out. I do love vlogging my journey for myself as well as the people who have been following me. So I hope you see me soon. I say it like this because I don't get to see you, but you get to see me. And we are not far from starting our through hike. So hope to see you, or again, hope you see me on the next video.